With the past anime season, I've been kind of disappointed. Most of the anime that I thought that were going to be pretty good were just kind of mediocre to me. Goblin Slayer, for example, Radiant, and the list could go on, but we're not here to talk about that. What we are here to talk about is the new season of anime in January 2019. Somebody linked me, or I've mentioned him in a previous video, shout out to Jay yet again, 3 anime that have really changed my perspective on this season, because I didn't expect much coming out of last season. So let's get into it. Now, before I say anything, all of these anime have almost equally impressed me. So I would have to say that the first 2 anime that you'll see would be both in second place, and the last anime that I talk about is one that's slightly edged both of them due to my own biases, not because they might be better in terms overall to anybody who watches it. Meet Dororo. It's basically about a samurai lord who exchanges his newborn son's organs and limbs to 48 demons in exchange for dominance on the battlefield. Now, the abandoned newborn is found by a man who deals with prosthetics as he equips the young child with certain prosthetics that will help him survive in the real world, such as an arm that pulls off and reveals the actual sword. And that's not all. He starts to search the earth for a multitude of demons in order to reclaim his body one at a time. On his journey, he meets a young orphan who claims to be the greatest thief in Japan, and his name so happens to be Dororo. Arguably, this has one of the most interesting first episodes for a supernatural shonen anime that I've ever seen, so I would suggest that you guys check this out. The next anime on our list is The Promised Neverland. Now, this is about a group of orphans who are at an orphanage, obviously. They go through rigorous tests every single day, and afterwards they're allowed to play outside. Now, outside, to a certain extent, there is a giant fence, or giant wall, if you would say, that encases them inside. They're never allowed to go outside that wall, which is already ominous enough. But as you know, with all anime, there's got to be something to mix it up. 2 orphans named Emma and Norman decide to make a plan to go outside those walls, and the curiosity gets the best of them. They end up finding a major secret that not only is deadly to all of their existence, but it makes a giant question in your head, such as what's outside that wall and why do they have the numbers on their neck? You eventually find out, and it's one of the biggest plot twists I've seen in a first episode in a while. Now, the anime I'm most excited for, and this is just me personally, I don't think that this would be the best anime out of all these 3 for other people, most people probably, but for me it is. Meet Rise of the Shield Hero. Now, this is honestly one of the anime that I thought was going to be very, very, very mediocre when I first saw it. You have your typical spiky haired kid gets teleported to another world with a new power, and it didn't really go as planned. He shows up with 3 other adventurers from other worlds or parallel Japanese universes, and they all have different abilities. One has like a spear, one has a bow, and one has a sword. He is the shield hero, apparently the one that gets the least amount of respect in all of the kingdom. Early on in the anime, he gets betrayed by a person that you would think was pretty innocent. But when he does, he doesn't take it like a lot of anime characters have already. He actually decides to take the darker route, and something that I've never really seen before, where a lighthearted character kind of turns into that, not so much a villain, but a darker character who doesn't really trust anybody. There's a couple anime that have stuff like that, but but not in such a cool and badass way that he did in this anime. When he finds out that he's been betrayed, he doesn't act like the typical naive, happy-go-lucky hero. He actually becomes angry, and it kind of changes his whole perspective on the world now. So I really like that element that they put into the anime. Honestly, this is my favorite anime so far. I might do an update video, but so far, Rising Shield Hero is my favorite anime. I can't wait to see the next episodes. This is the anime I would suggest to people first. And that's it for this first episode of Anime Rundown. I don't know why I called it Anime Rundown. I just thought that was a cool name. I don't know if I could make this like a episodic series, but yeah, let me know in the comments. Leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And without further ado, it's your boy Yanni Tsunami, and I'm out. Stay wavy.
Nigga, what is competition? It's some common bitch and not, it's just a lot of victims slaughtered to my composition. Nigga, I was on a mission, living in Nevada, hottest saunas, eating chili pepper sweaters and a lot of friction sitting on the sun. It was written, I'm the one. Nigga, if I rule the world, they get the